I am live. Let me find it.
Go away, little one.
Well, where do I find it? Oh God, where do I find it?
Go to Studio, Create, Go Live.
No. How did you find it? How did you find it? Hey, turn your shit down, Marty.
Hey, language.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not.
Well,
Sorry means you'll never do it again.
Lord, I can't find it. Let me just have yours.
Well, I'll have to have one too.
Can we like our own chat?
To the devil with false modesty.
Peach is here.
H.
Aha! Well,
Is it 6 already?
well, it's 5:58. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until they start. If they start trickling in. If not, I already planned this out. Like we'll wait till like 5 after, and then we'll just start talking like we're talking to somebody.
You can talk to Peach.
Hey, Calamity! Peachy, you still here? Hey. Are we crooked? Well, see, because that camera looks crooked. I want y'all to know,
That's the shade.
me and Peach were some busy fools today. Calamity, were you busy? Do you have winter protecting to do for your plants?
They're okay. Just ignore them.
What?
Nothing. Just going about your business. We're dealing with.
I got my dinner cooking this time. Ha ha ha. Look at me. It's a whole chicken again with stuff up its butt and got a new way of roasting potatoes. Let me tell you about this, Calamity Jane, since you're here. Good. I'm glad you got your stuff protected. Yeah, well, a lot of stuff I got, is probably going to be fine, but it's been real warm here, so I figure I'll just go ahead and play the game and everything is protected. Thanks to my trusty colleague.
I'm just a hired help.
Okay, potatoes. Just okay. This is not really mine. This was Emma Allotment's Diaries. She's a London YouTuber. She gardens on an allotment. I guess she sort of rents it for the year. Anyway, she cooks some on Sundays. She's really great videographer. How do you say that? Videographer. Makes beautiful little, and she's funny. She looks like my other daughter, I'll be telling you. And I do have English bloodlines. So anyway, the potato recipe. You just boil potatoes, right? Whole potatoes peeled until the outside starts getting soft, okay? Then you're going to drain them, pat them dry, and then shake them up and down in that colander to kind of rough up that outside. And then you put them in your cast iron that's all good and greased up, and a sprig of rosemary. Wet that rosemary down though so it doesn't burn. But yeah, you want to cover them and just roast them up until they're nice and soft, and they'll be browned up on the outside, so nice. Really good recipe. And you could play off of it. You could add a quartered up onion in there or bell peppers, such like that. Yeah, they turned out so good. So anyway, I watch all kind of people.
Good delay.
I watch you, Jane.
I watch the video from what sitting here watching you is like messing with my head.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I try not to watch it. All right, we're going to be talking about fairies. It looks like that says Elvis, by the way. Fairies, elves, dwarves, and gnomes,
Etc.
etc. Okay. Girl is here. She chose to be on the sidelines today. Now, he did all the research
I didn't do anything.
this
I did
time.
nothing.
We are, by the way, preparing half of our kitchen. We're tearing out the ceiling, getting out the insulation from the attic first. So it won't make as big a mess. And we're replacing the sheetrock in that part of the kitchen and then going over that with beadboard. And I am so excited. And not much help with that, you know? But I am excited to get it done. I mean, I'm very careful what I show y'all in my house because I am ashamed of it. And it's hard to live in a house that you're not proud of. You know, and I'm not bougie. I like my country look around here. But I got water stains on my ceiling, and I want them gone.
Well, the roof was terrible.
The roof was terrible. But the roof is fixed now with shingles, you know. But, you know, sometimes we get those storms that just blow those shingles completely off and pouring down rain. What are you going to do? So anyway, here we go. I'm going. So you keep track of the peoples. Fairies are being from folklore that are usually depicted as winged human-like creatures. They are usually associated with nature and magic. Oh, wow. I have to tell y'all this part. Oh, come here. Kitty Wayne. Come here. Come here. Ow. Sorry. It's not very graceful. I'm pretty sure corgis are rumored to, like, be fairies' official, they want it, what? Form of transportation. That's what it is. So, Penny Lane says, listen to our fairy stories.
Lord help the fairy try to ride that thing.
Fairies have been shown to be both benevolent and malevolent. They have been shown to be both bad and good. In Scotland, the benevolent fairies, that word, were part of the Seelie or summer court. In contrast, the unseelie court or shadow court was generally seen as malevolent. Some believe that neither are good or bad, but just light and dark.
Quick footnote to that. I found out that the word silly, if someone says you're being silly, it's derived from the word seelie. So when they say you're being silly, they mean you're acting like a fairy.
Wow.
That's where it originally came from. I'm sure it's changed. But I found that out and I thought it was pretty cool.
That is cool. Fairies are said to come from the Fey world, a world parallel underneath and betwixt ours. Betwixt. If you entered the Fey world and ate their food, you could never return. What is their food?
They just have, they eat like banquets and stuff, and they're always inviting people like that.
So it's just regular food?
There's legends of people finding doorways in mountains, and they go in and they find the Fae having a feast. And they tell them it's like, rude if they don't take part, but if they do eat the food, they can't leave. The door will shut and that's it.
We watched this guy called T, not Miss T, but like just the letter T, T's Story Time. And he spoke of a mountain in the, do you say Wachita Mountains or Wichita Mountains? Like, are those separate things?
There's the Washita and the Wichita.
Okay, the Wichita, I'm pretty sure. This old man found an iron door that led into a mountain. So that's pretty cool.
That wouldn't be a fairy door, though. No. Because fairies are afraid of iron.
Maybe it was to trap a fairy in?
It could have been. I mean, if they might have sealed them behind an iron door. That's an interesting theory.
Right? Probably would have been a bad fairy if you had trapped them. Okay. Fairies can be dangerous to humans, but are generally considered helpful. Attracted by offerings and fairy gardens. Repelled by cold iron. Now, what are the offerings?
Now, Shay's Urban Edibles said, like Maleficent, she was good and bad too. That's exactly what they said. It depended on your point of view. Like, An example of the unseelie court were the banshees. And the banshees were supposed to be harbingers of death. But one way to look at that is they're warning you.
Right.
So, I mean,
that's why they scream at you.
It's not good or bad. It's just, I mean, not pleasant, but it's not bad. They're
That's so
harbingers.
Cool. I look like a banshee, I feel. Rocking the banshee look.
And yes,
Susie and the Banshees.
In Disney, Maleficent was a fairy, a fae folk.
And I think she's probably talking about that. Didn't they come out with like a newer movie with?
Yes,
and I haven't seen that at all.
You have? I know.
No.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
At least the first one, and it really gives you a soft spot for Maleficent because she was really done wrong.
In that vein, Anne Rice, with her Vampire Chronicles, Lestat gets taken to hell by the devil. In that book, he's called Memnoch. And Memnoch is telling him the whole time that the reason God got mad at him is because he didn't agree with the way God was doing things. He didn't understand the workings. And, I'm not going to go all into that, but Memnoch had a heart. And he was very, very sad, the devil was, that he had been cast out. See, he was trying to talk the vampire Lestat into coming down there and getting together with him. Winning souls for God is what he called it. Anyway, the devil's a good talker. All right.
Okay, I see where you said what were the offerings. I didn't write that down. Fairies like natural things, not so much food like the brownies we'll discuss later, but like pretty things and shiny things.
Probably like crows.
Yeah, a lot.
So
like
maybe a lot of people thinking they're giving stuff to the fairies, the crows are just taking it.
And there again, Shay, Maleficent had a crow.
She had a crow.
That followed her around everywhere. He would turn into a man. He was really funny in the movie.
But can't you teach crows to talk? They're very smart. Isn't that a crow or is it a raven?
Well, they're both the corvid. I mean, there's not much difference between a crow and a raven as far as lineage. One's bigger and has a few different characteristics.
We ought to get a crow for Haley.
And they are said to be one of the most intelligent animals on Earth.
I'll teach you to say nevermore.
Nevermore. That'll be the only thing he says. Nevermore, the crow.
Okay.
I'm gonna get girl a crow.
That next thing is really interesting.
One Christian story says a group of angels revolted, and God ordered heaven's gates shut. Angels still in heaven remain angels. Angels in hell became demons. And all these trapped in between were fairies.
Now that was Christianity's way of, a lot of the old folk wouldn't turn loose of their beliefs. So that was their way of like bringing fairies into Christianity. Now I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that was how they explained to these people that said they absolutely believed in fairies. Well, this is where fairies came from.
Right. Gave a Christian slant to it. Well, I'm not saying I believe it's true or anything, but if you replace the word alien, if you change out angel for alien, the Bible gets kind of strange too. Anyway, we're going to talk about elves now. Elves have a lot in common with fairies. They were seen as human-like and both light and dark. Germanic and Norse mythology made elves almost godlike. They were light elves who were beautiful and fair, and dark elves who were blacker than pitch and lived underground. So again, with even the visual aspect is light and dark, like Star Wars.
The feeling that I got doing the research is that what the Europeans and like Scotland, Ireland, Britain, what they considered fairies, the Germanic races in the north, like Icelandic and Norse, they considered them elves.
Oh.
I mean, it's really strange. There's a couple of instances like that. What they call it in European mythology was a fairy, but in Norse mythology it was elves.
So like Greek and Roman mythology,
Yeah,
how they switch things out.
They're very, but it's also interesting to note that these two mythologies, separated, come up with the same stuff.
Right. And the one that's further north, are those the one that are angrier?
Yeah.
Well, yeah and no. They consider the light elves to be a race of godlike beings. In fact, they had Alfheim, which is one of the 9 worlds in Norse mythology, and that was the world of the elves. But there was also a world.
Oh, yeah. I meant like the one that was further north geographically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
were there like dwarves and elves like angrier than?
Yes.
That's what I was saying, because it's colder, right?
It's an angry climate, if you want to put it that way.
That's what I was trying to say.
An angry place to live.
Yeah.
See, that next one goes in Iceland.
So, Icelandic folklore calls elves hidden people who are human-like but live in hidden communities. They are sometimes mischievous but also helpful humans. Oh, help humans, such as helping with childbirth.
They were like
Oh.
They were like supernatural midwives in that respect. And I thought it was kind of interesting, they talked about
Can you imagine this little creature crawling in your house and
okay, like I said,
let me help you do this.
European mythology and the fairies, their fae world was underneath between kind of like hidden people, right?
Right.
I just covered that. Elves and fairies are almost identical, except one comes from European folklore, the other Germanic or Norse.
Right. Interesting to note, the Icelandic hidden people were said to be like us, but taller, thinner, and more beautiful. That brings to mind the Nordic aliens. If you've ever done any alien show watching, then you know about the Nordic aliens. Blonde, tall, and beautiful.
They were also said to be
like Rutger Hauer,
one of the driving forces behind World War II.
Yeah.
Hence the Aryan race.
I mean, these are conspiracies.
Blonde.
We're talking about elves. We might as well sprinkle some other stuff in there too.
Had a whole village of people with point ears. The name of the village was Fair, but I wasn't sure if the people were fairies or elves. So like I said,
right.
It looked like the two are interchangeable, just depending on your geographic location. In European mythology, it probably would have been fairies, but in Norse mythology or Icelandic or Germanic, let's say that, they would have been elves. Now, Tolkien really twisted up the elf to fit his. I mean, he didn't twist it so much. He followed Norse mythology quite a bit. But he developed his own mythology for Middle Earth. So,
did he develop it or did he go there?
No, you
hear what I said? Did he develop it or did he go there and learn it?
That's he wrote a book called The Silmarillion that gives the whole creation theory on elves, dwarves.
So how were they created?
Elves were the first race. They were the beautiful people.
And they needed help.
Almost perfection.
Right? They needed help.
Well, they needed subservience.
They needed help.
Now, dwarves were actually made first, but the principal god didn't make them. One of the other gods made them. He said, well, he's going to make them out of clay and stone. And he made these little people out of stone and rock and earth. And the principal god got angry.
Like the terracotta warriors.
The principal god got angry because he overstepped him. And so he made them leave them stone until after the elves and men were born. Then they came to life.
Girl, will you check my dinner? I know you heard that. All right, here's a good one. It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees. It's a little Joni Mitchell reference. Christmas elves are a more modern installment. St. Nicholas was called Jolly Old Elf in Night Before Christmas in 1823.
The original title of which was A Visit from St. Nicholas. I thought that was kind of...
But when did Santa Claus get elves as helpers?
They were first mentioned in literature. I had that right below it. Louisa May Alcott wrote about them in 1850.
Oh, she wrote but never published a book titled Christmas Elves in 1850. So that's it? Just because of a book, and all of a sudden there was Christmas elves?
Yeah, I mean, St. Nicholas was...
He had to have helpers.
Okay.
Again with the
St.
helping.
Nicholas is an ancient theory. Santa Claus, not so much. You know what I mean?
Reverse that.
So...
Yeah, reverse that. No?
No, St. Nicholas was before Santa Claus.
Sandy Claus.
Now, that is a theory, okay?
Yeah, Santa Claus is not, you can't prove
There's
that.
a theory.
And by the way, if you're not sitting at the table, you can't chime in, girl.
The Norse had or Germanic people, I should say, had Krampus, which I'm sure you've heard about.
Krampus.
He was the, like...
Krampus happens one time a month.
If you were bad, it's sick. If you were bad, then Krampus would come. But Krampus was also called Sandy Claus or Sandy Hooks.
Oh, no, let's not even bring that name. That don't, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Don't
just
say
saying
that.
Santa Claus.
Because, you know, that gets people going.
Yeah.
Okay. Dwarves. Mythologically, dwarves are found mostly in Germanic and Norse folklore. They are said to be short, stout, human-shaped beings. You're human-shaped.
Well, I mean, they were like humans, but...
I know. Come on. They are commonly said to dwell in mountains or stones and are skilled craftsmen. Most of the Norse pantheon's magical weapon and artifacts were made by dwarves. Some stories say that dwarves would turn to stone in sunlight.
Okay, that's kind of a... It was mentioned in Norse mythology. A dwarf wanted to marry Thor's daughter. And to trick him, Thor kept him talking until the sun came up and it turned into stone.
Wow.
But Tolkien again does that with...
Was there anything like that in the King Arthur parables?
No, the European mythology pretty much lumped in small folk, dwarves, all that with the fae or the fairy.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to note that the dwarves were supposed to be made of the earth, close to the earth, lived in the earth, and they were the craftsmen. Like I said, and most of their Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, his wife's golden hair, Odin's spear, all of them were made by dwarves. And they even made a boat for one of the gods that could fold up and put in your pocket. I mean, they were craftsmen.
Pocket boat. A pocket boat. Listen, this is cool stuff.
Yeah, I really learned some stuff.
Now, if you remember right, well, if y'all look back in my channel, we did a video about the Heavener Runestone Park, Heavener Runestone Park, and we really wanted to use the rune down there, though it's written by Vikings, supposedly. The translation is roughly, what? Valley of the Gnomes.
One translation says Valley of the Gloam.
Yeah.
And one is Valley of the Gnomes.
Anyhow, if you look in the video, you'll see that rock, and you'll see the inscription. And then you can also see in that video the foliage and walking down there, the rocks and everything. It was really cool down in there. I could totally see my primitive butt living down in there. You know, small little cooking area.
Says, definitely
place to sleep.
Vikings.
Right. It's
And I agree.
also
100%.
in Shawnee or in the Shawnee Creek. Anyway, it wasn't clear whether this was found in the Shawnee Creek or Shawnee, the town, which is near me. Either way, it's in Oklahoma. There was another little piece of runestone found, and it said what?
Said Madoc.
Yeah, Madok.
Medok.
Medok. That's just what the letters look like. So, what was the meaning of that?
Well, there's a legend of a European prince that came over here with his people, a whole group of people, and they disappeared completely. And there's a legend in the eastern tribes of the moon-eyed people. They lived in stone houses.
Big old blue eyes.
Had big blue eyes and were pale. And they're thinking that was Prince Madoc. And then here's this Viking stone that says Medoc. Kind of close.
I'm thinking when they were talking about little people and they came to that area, it was probably short, squatty Indians. That's what I felt. And it ain't me saying Valley of the Gnomes or whatever. It was them. So I'm just, Vikings, Europeans, certainly, I believe, were a lot taller than some Indians. Were shorter, so some were taller too. But
another interesting
that's my
point
theory.
Is if any of y'all have ever read Louis L'Amour did a lot of research on all of his books. And one of his earlier books, one of his travels.
The Love. Isn't that what that means?
It's his name.
The Love.
Anyway, one of his travelers finds a cave. This Indian tells him about a spirit cave that's haunted, and he goes into it, and haunts lead him back to this room, and he finds some of Madoc's people mummified.
No. No, thank you for that. All right, so let's talk about the gnomes. But I just thought I'd tell you, if you want to go back and look at that video, wink, wink, views, you can just picture little Vikings running around down there going, wow, look at those little people, and then they go over there and carve on the rock. I mean, this is interesting to me. And it was such a beautiful area. If y'all can't get out and see true fall colors, I did it for you.
Now our little friends here are considered gnomes.
Yes, these are friends. Semi-clean friend. All right. Gnomes are similar to dwarves in that they are small and said to live underground. Gnomes are said to be guardians of the earth and plants. In folklore, they are described as small old men.
That's another interesting point. With gnomes and with dwarves, which are kind of interchangeable in a lot of stories, very few times are the females mentioned. They mention them having wives and daughters sometimes, but
also in Lord of the Rings,
all the dwarves in the stories are men. Now they're brothers and they're sons, but they very seldom ever mention the women. They never mention them by name until much later in mythology. The earlier mythology mentions having wives and daughters and sisters, but they never mention them by name. And that's where Tolkien got his thing. Some say there are no dwarf women.
He said, ridiculous. All right. No, let's see. Gnomes are also said to protect crops and livestock. Gnomes were also mentioned in mining legends as protectors of the earth, and therefore not kind to miners.
Now this goes into the turn of the century stuff where they first started mining, and gold mines and stuff, and they actually considered them demons because they were so malevolent to the miners. But there again, you can look at it as they were protecting the earth.
And what was dangerous was the mining practices themselves. It wasn't. Okay. when we went on the fall tour, we went through some of our old towns where we grew up in southeast Oklahoma, so we know that area really well. Well, this town is called Krebs, Krebs, Oklahoma. They have a huge coal mining history there, and most of them were Italians. But if you look in the research of that town, I did an article when I was in college. Huge mine collapse, and so many people lost their lives. It was terrible story. Anyway, we bought some Italian sausage there. I just wanted to point that out.
Shay mentioned trolls, like how the ones in the mines could have been trolls.
Yeah.
Now I researched trolls. I was going to add them in tonight, but I found that for the most part, trolls were big.
Like smaller ogres.
There's a few stories of them being small, but for the most part, they were considered big.
Well, because there's dwarfism in all animals, right? Wait, in the giants, some people wondering if the ogre legends were of some remaining giants, maybe? What if there are dwarf giants, ogres? Do you understand what I'm saying? So they'd be smaller, of course, but they'd still be really big.
Okay, while you're on to that.
And like larger.
The Norse actually, the first race were Jotuns or giants. But in their mythology, they talked about trolls. Even in their lineage, they talked about trolls. And there was actually people they called half-trolls. They were born of trolls. Now, they dug up, this was fact, I would have to do some deep digging to find it again. But they dug up a grave of a guy they called half-troll. And he was a Neanderthal.
Oh my God, I knew it was going to come around.
So they're thinking that what the Norse were calling trolls and half-trolls were Neanderthals and crossbreeds with Neanderthals.
Because in my Ancestry and 23andMe kits, I'm one of the humans running around that's more Neanderthal than the other humans running around.
Okay, Peach.
Which means you guys are probably Cro-Magnon.
When I first
I love
found
that
this,
about y'all.
When I first found this, you're saying do some digging. When I first found this, I was actually digging on my family history. Now, not with Ancestry or any of the DNA things. It was just going by name. Our family name is Old Norse.
Careful now. Government names, don't.
I know, but it's Old Norse in origin. Okay. So I was looking back on that, and in our lineage was, I can't remember his name, something half-troll. And so I went to looking into why they would call him half-troll.
Wow. And
that's when I found out about him digging up a grave outside of a churchyard of the guy they called the troll, and he was a Neanderthal.
That is wild. So there you go, guys. I mean, that
kind of got off on the trolls.
Reason, I mean, we can do so much. Next week, by the way, I want y'all's opinion. I know we're not done. I'll let y'all know later. Okay. So now we did mention that the heaved the Rootstone in the Valley of the Gnomes. That was our last gnome thing.
Now here's where we get into the tying in mythologies that are separated by oceans.
Oh, that's why I wanted to do Little People. Is because I lost my train of thought. I wanted to do Little People because we had done giants, and you're not supposed to call them Little People. I am so sorry I said that.
Well,
I just mean the realm of fairies, dwarves,
elves. A lot of
elves.
the names that the Native Americans had for these people meant little people.
Right.
Not like, anyway.
We didn't bring up leprechauns.
They're in here.
Okay. Native American little folk. Many Native American tribes had folklore of small folk. Most were said to inhabit forests, caves, and riverbanks. Some were helpful, some mischievous, some downright dangerous, even cannibalistic.
Now, I go into
Junwi, June's
Cherokee had the Yunwi Junsi. Now,
Jutsi.
forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. That's the only pronunciation I could find online. That's the same way with all these Native American names. I tried to do the best I could with pronunciations. If I get it wrong, I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Well, I wanted to get that down before I read the next part. Okay. Yunwi Jutsi. That's good enough. The Cherokee had that fellow, and they were helpful and fond of music and dancing.
It's
Called Jogaho.
That was.
Oh, that's something next. Oh my God, I'm messing this all up. Can I start over?
Okay, now with the Cherokee, they also had a I can't remember, Nunheim or something like that. They were the really bad ones. I forgot to write them down.
So Cherokee had those fellows. They were helpful and fond of music and dancing. The Iroquois had the Jogaho, who were tricksters. They were tricksters.
Okay, you want me to do this part?
Yes, because it's really cracking me up.
Okay, watch the messages.
All right.
Okay, like she said, the Iroquois had the Jogaho, who were tricksters.
The Jogaho.
A lot of the little people were considered tricksters, but some were violent.
Sounds like Jogaho.
Comanche had the Nanupi. They were cannibals, and they also kidnapped children. Now, there were European stories of the fairies kidnapping children and replacing them with fairy babies, call them changelings. But here's where it ties in. Some of these were cannibals, and they took children to raise.
Wow.
The Crow had the Nirumbi, who were ferocious. They were very strong, goblin-like, and had sharp teeth. Now, they were so strong, it was said that they saw one kill a bull elk. Now, they were only supposed to be like 18 inches tall. He killed a bull elk, grabbed it by the horns, and drug it off. And he's 18 inches tall.
Was it one of those gray aliens instead of a fairy, and they just call it that because they don't even like?
Now, it's interesting you mentioned the gray aliens, because the Algonquin had the Pukwudgie.
I've heard of Pukwudgies.
They were gray-skinned and goblin-like. Kind of interesting.
Oh, because you know that cave movie where they get kind of trapped in there, and then the leader kind of goes. He gets like infected with the virus of them or something, and he's changing into them. I bet those are Pukwudgies.
Are you watching the messages? Okay.
Woodgie, like W. How do you spell it?
It's Pukwudgie.
Yeah, Wudgies. Woodgie. Like my dogs like specific kinds of wood that are like real well worn.
The main reason
We always call them woodgies because they're wedges of wood. But
the main reason I added the Pukwudgie is because
that's how we know how to say woodgie.
girl would not rest until I mentioned the Pukwudgies. Okay,
Yeah, it's a delightful word.
here again, another tie-in with the European fairy folk. It was widely believed that showing the small folk respect was important, and offending them brought misfortune. Like the Pukwudgies hunted.
They just wanted to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. You
The
know.
Pukwudgies would shoot you with poison arrows. The little gray-skinned ones. So, makes you wonder.
Why would
Okay.
they do the small things?
Some tribes leave offerings of sweets, tobacco, or shiny objects to appease and show respect. There again, another tie-in.
Also, Native Americans, just when they do their rituals in general, they sprinkle the cornmeal and you got your four directions and
I think in this instance and several
smoke and
others,
stuff and
the mythology separated by oceans being so close.
yeah,
I mean, there's got to be something there.
European. When you're on the way to the bathroom, you're a Russian. When you get there, European.
When you're done, you're finished.
When you're done, you're finished.
Okay, go on to brownies.
Brownies. Oh, who doesn't love a brownie anyway?
I tell you what, I would love some of these brownies.
You have a very good. What I need is a fudgy brownie. I do not like cake brownies. It has to be a fudgy brownie, and I know I don't need it. I need it like I need a hole in my head, but I need it from scratch.
Cannabis brownie.
Oh, I wouldn't mind, for sure. I have to take edibles for my pain. It keeps me happy, and it keeps me from hurting.
Peach said she likes some fudgy.
Shay's edibles. Is she still here, girl? Like a name like edible.
It's got to be good.
All right.
Peach says, I'm stoned.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mereditism.
Leprechauns.
You skipped over brownie. You went to talk about your brownies and not food brownies.
Brownies are household spirits, mostly found in English and Scottish folklore. I am so Scottish. Do you see my cheeks? 60% over here. That's a lot.
They both called you liar. Oh, wait a minute. Mereditism, that's Peach too, isn't it?
Woo! 2 views, you slick woman, you. All right. Where am I at? Brownies. Let me just get this up here where I can really see. Brownies are household spirits mostly found in English and Scottish folklore. They are usually said to be small, brown-skinned, and hairy.
That's why they call them brownies.
Are you a brownie? You're a very tall brownie.
I resent that.
It's dark skin. Brownies are said to be very loyal to their homes, but easily offended. Are you a brownie? Brownies work at night while humans sleep. They clean, churn, care for livestock, etc.
Yeah. That's what I said. We need to find some brownies, not like edible brownies.
I think you are a brownie. Brownies want simple offerings.
No, they enjoy doing it.
You don't like it?
No.
Brownies want simple offerings like milk or porridge. Oh. If you try to pay them, however, they'll be offended and leave.
Now, tell me that isn't the perfect household guest.
I think every homesteader or gardener should have a brownie.
I tell you what, if brownies want to move in here, I'll make them all the oatmeal they can handle.
Maybe some of that malto meal. Remember I was telling Peach about that Peach? I'm sorry.
Like
Miss T? I was talking about on Miss T. I was talking about
You're right, Pete.
malto
Brownies
meal.
are a lot like Keebler Elves, it sounds like.
Or the Rice Krispie treat, guys.
That's interesting. What were they? Snap, crackle, and pop. What were they?
I don't know, but you want to hear my theories of rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub?
No.
I can tell you a story about rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. From a young age, I asked my mother questions about those men. All right.
Pete's going to put porridge outside.
I wonder how much porridge. And here's the thing. You know some animal's going to come eat that in the night. So how are you really going to know? I'll tell you how you know. Listen, we need to do this scientifically. You need to put it on a porch or a piece of wood and put flour all around it. So that anything that walks up there and eats it we've got little footprints. You know what I mean?
And then you will offend them because they're not stupid.
I didn't say anything about Rice Krispie treats.
Now, this is interesting to note. Like brownies don't want to be discovered. Some of the Native American small people.
Oh, put a camera on it.
If they saw them, if one of the
brownie animal,
if one of the tribe saw them, then they would ask them not to say anything. If they kept the secret, they would have good fortune the rest of their life. If they broke the secret, misfortune. So they had to keep them secret if they saw them. So
I wonder if it's also like a music or a music like to lure them in. Do they like music?
well, the Cherokee ones do. The Yunwi Jutsi.
Jutsi. Okay, here we go with leprechauns. Leprechauns kind of scare me.
No, if you read that, I mean, I found out.
Leprechauns are now usually seen in green, but early folklore describes them in red with hats, leather aprons, and buckled shoes. Ah, so they're the little elves that helped that guy cobble his shoes. Remember that?
They are traditionally cobblers.
Depicted as wizened, bearded old men. Haley, will you check my chicken and my potatoes?
Potatoes are out.
My chicken?
Yeah.
I don't have much longer. Use the meat thermometer, okay? Sorry. Leprechauns were traditionally shoemakers for fairies, said to be solitary, sly, and tricksters. Can be fiercely independent and moody, believed to hoard gold.
You're a leprechaun.
If you catch a leprechaun, he has... I like green, too. If you catch a leprechaun, he has to grant 3 wishes or give up his gold. Is that really true?
They say if you catch one, he has to either grant you 3 wishes or give you the location of his gold, but he will try to trick you.
Okay. Do I have any questions about the leprechaun? I had something else. Oh, how old is the leprechaun legend business?
It's pretty ancient. I mean, it goes back to Celtic folklore. And the reason they are associated...
Irish are really supernatural.
The reason they are associated with green and St. Patrick's Day is totally because they were Irish.
Yeah.
Racism among the little folk. That's just wrong.
Folklore often tells that there was conflict between giants and small folk, with giants representing brute force and the small folk cunning and resourcefulness. It seems to be a common theme of small races being closely tied to the earth and nature.
That was one thing I wanted to mention because, I mean, we're ultimately, gardeners. All these small races, the fairies, the elves, especially the dwarves and gnomes, garden gnomes, and brownies, they're all very respectful of nature. And they take care of nature. They're the guardians. So you're talking about appeasing fairies. One way they appease fairies is to make little fairy gardens.
Yeah.
And that makes them happy. And they will help you with your garden.
We make fairy gardens, and then they get overgrown with weeds, and we lose all the little pieces and tidbits. We have to go searching for them. And then we dig up, plant something, and we find again, But I am going to dedicate. I've got my little crystals that he's been bringing me. Got a whole bucket full of those things. So I had an idea. You know those terracotta pots, right? And you can get those huge plate things that go underneath them. So I thought I would lay my crystals out in that with maybe some pretty rocks here and there. And I'm going to do the four corners because this is what you're supposed to do to like, you want to set up a grid throughout your garden. I don't just want to put them in the soil because they can erode in water really bad. But if I put them in those terracotta things, number one, I'll be able to find them. Number two, that's technically, it's clay. So that's going to be touching my soil. So I figure, I'm not saying crystals do help, but I'm saying, why not just give it a whirl? Hey,
last week.
Finish. What?
I talked about these last week. I wanted to show you a good example.
This is what we're talking about.
Selenite.
Can you see that better?
It's almost clear.
Yeah. Like you could be able to see flame through it, light through it.
You can see the sun through it. I've looked.
We just went to the spiritual shop we go to in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Y'all can look them up. They sell round, like smooth versions of this. They have an orange one. And I'm sure different colors do different things. This almost has a pink hue when you see it in person. It captures light. So
I've been wondering if
you don't know what color it really is, or if it's tinted by clay soil.
I'm wondering if the pink comes.
We have red soil in western Oklahoma real bad.
Peach, I have a third of a 5-gallon bucket full of those for her right now. That's what she's going to put in her garden.
Like my grow lights on over there, I can see the pink glow through it. Iron oxide. It's really, really smooth on this side. So we got our cages. I got my muscadines tied up. We tied them up. And then we set the cages on them real careful, right? None of the foliage is touching the cages. And I've got one layer of the frost cloth around. I'm not thinking it's not going to be like, oh my God, 0 degrees.
I'm sorry, Shay, I didn't see that comment a while ago. It said, never seen a female leprechaun either. That's a good point.
I'm gonna try to send you a crystal peach. Be a little tiny box. Maybe I'll put some seeds in it. Do we have a crystal book?
We used to have,
Yeah.
but in all the moves. And the woman.
Hey, fun fact.
The woman that
This is
gifted
all of the rest I'm going to tell you about my government name. My middle name is Chrissy Lee. So if you say it just right, it's Crystal Lee. Sprinkle with crystal. Crystal Lee. Isn't that a cute name? It's all one word. That's my middle name. Well, I don't know what else to tell y'all, guys.
And like I said, it'd be beneficial for any gardener or outdoor enthusiast to appease these.
Roots and Refuge's mother just took us over there one time in Arkansas to that lady's garden. And I mean, she's got the craziest garden, just full of potted plants and plants in ground and a little couple of raised beds. She's got green stalks. She has crystals all over her yard. And I was just like, And I asked Jess, and this is one of the times Jess actually said something back to me. Not gonna brag, but she said, I've often wondered if that's why she has that success in that garden myself. She said, because I've seen her do crazy things. When I try to do them, she said it didn't work. And Mom's over there with all those crystals and.
That's another one of those things when you look it up, say there's no scientific proof.
No scientific proof, but there's anecdotal evidence. I looked it up.
That's like the Heavener runestone. The reason they're debating whether or not it's actually Viking is because that would throw their little history book way out of whack.
And because a woman found that Heavener runestone, by the way, she's the one that went to the local native people and listened to their stories about all those different rocks, the ones she found. They told her where to find them. No one else cared to listen. She did.
Another
and so
thing is
it's interesting. That woman's interesting. You should look her up. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but she's the one that found the Hebrew runestone ruin.
and some of the native
Hi, just asking.
some of the native tribes have stories of the dragon boats, people in the dragon boats, and very warlike. And in fact, they made a movie based on that called Pathfinder.
I believe I've heard evidence of Egyptians, South Americans.
Well, there is the Cave of Anubis
Oh,
in the Oklahoma
we're
Panhandle.
gonna go see this. I don't think winter's a good time to be going to the Oklahoma Panhandle.
No.
Because it's really bad out there in the wintertime. And I'm talking negative with the wind chill. And when we get blizzard, we don't get blizzards here, really. We get a lot of snow sometimes, but they're liable to. They sure are liable to. Anyway, but up in the northwest, I don't know where, I don't want to say where, corner of Oklahoma is a cave these people found. Tell us about the cave.
Okay, in this cave were Egyptian hieroglyphics, mostly relating to the god Anubis. Now, the thing is, how would any of the native peoples have any inclination of Egyptian writing or Anubis?
Or knowledge of Anubis.
I agree, Peach. Dragons were also real. I think there is. I often wonder.
Just a late dinosaur, right?
Okay, look, in the Congo, all kinds of funny stuff turn up in the Congo. They had the Mokili Mobembe. I know it sounds funny, but they made a movie about it back in the 80s. These people, this tribe that lived in the Congo, got really, really sick.
Wait, listen. Pete said the society people who were before the Egyptians wrote hieroglyphics all over the planet. Were those the Watchers? And they got wiped out in the flood. That's where they went, huh?
Well, back to the dragon thing. They asked these people, they all had really, really bad food poisons, what was making them sick. So these missionaries asked them, what did you eat? Because the whole tribe had ate it. And they drew a picture of a brontosaurus. Now, these people had never seen a textbook, never been to class, never learned about dinosaurs, but they drew a brontosaurus. They said they found one dead and ate it.
Actual dragons.
And they call them Mokili Mobembe. Now, I could see where there could be a form of fire breathing. I mean, they had venom spitting. And there's been several movies talk about something the dragons eat that cause a chemical reaction.
He said, no, after the Watchers, we are in the 5th cycle of the planet's civilizations. Are we at the end of that cycle, Peach? Halfway, maybe?
Sometimes you gotta hope. This cycle isn't going very well.
I don't even want to say anything about this, but in the news, did y'all see the Supreme Court said it was okay to pause funding SNAP benefits? I mean, that's what I read anyway. So we are at the end of the 5th cycle. You know, really after 9/11, did any of you guys feel like, oh my God, the world is just changing, oh my God. And maybe it's because I was older Maybe it's because something really terrible happened on American soil.
She says we're in the later third.
But there's, then the pandemic, Whoever thought we'd live through something like that?
Four horsemen ride.
And then you ask doctors and they were like, oh no, it was inevitable. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. And of course, it's what? Lab leaked? Maybe. Will I get in trouble
I don't blame
saying
Kate.
that?
She says she don't listen to any news. I don't blame you.
Hey, listen. I think it's up to us to listen and filter something out of the news. Even if you believe it's false, I think it's good knowledge to be prepared and be listening to what they are saying, even if it ain't true. Because there's a heck of a lot of people out there believing it.
Peach says she's not sure that
having that knowledge is being forewarned.
She's not sure that you and I will have great grandchildren who live to the natural end of their lives. I worry about stuff like that. But I mean, when it comes to it, what's worry do for you? Nothing.
Yeah. We just got to live every day and try to be happy and thank God we had it and pray for the next one. If not,
leave only footprints. That's always been my philosophy.
Grow something lovely and leave something beautiful behind. You know what? I venture to say, if I ever leave, when I leave here, and people go and try to tear all my gardens down, even if they go out and seed it and sod it, there's going to be something that I planted out there someday is going to sprout, and I'll be proud of it. I really will. So I got that.
We was talking about the end of the cycle and all that. I really freaked out he's a really religious guy. It was on the crew I was on this week. And I gave him our theory. He was talking about the end times and how it's showing all the signs of the end times.
Don't you dare say anything about anybody being
the
Antichrist. Okay?
No.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna censor you real quick.
No. Well, I told him our theory about how the end signs have been going on for generations.
Every generation thinks.
I gave him our little theory we played with. What if we're the left behind?
What if we are the left behind?
And it blew his poor little mind, and he couldn't talk to me.
Don't tell that to the diehard Christians. Like, what if we are left behind? That's why it's so damn terrible.
What if he's already come and gone?
Well, we went from Dwarves and Elves and Fairies to...
Hey, there again, I mean, who's to say fairies weren't what Christianity labeled as angels? Who's to say those weren't aliens? I mean, this could all tie in so many ways. And it's really freaky when you think about it.
All right, now listen, in real talk, do you know anybody that is struggling? I don't know what's going to happen with food stamps, how much anybody's getting where, or what the food pantries are like. But we got winter crops going, and there's an older lady that walks by and she talks to me about my garden. So next time I see her, I'm gonna give her a little bag of something, and I just want anybody who sees this and might still be here to think about them. Think about somebody and don't say it's because, oh my God, I don't know if you have food stamps. Just, you know what? I was thinking you might like these greens or whatever. Bless them. Maybe give them some eggs if you got them.
I grew up on food stamps and commodities.
And I am Christian. I believe in God. You can believe in all kinds of things, still believe in God. And don't let anybody tell you any different. I'm just going to say that right now. You know what's in your heart. And I ain't here to tell you what a bunch of men wrote down and said what could be in the Bible either. You know what I mean? I want to see the one that's not got King James's name written on it. Because honest to God, I don't think I've ever read any other Bible but King James. And the precious moments Bible, and I think too are very, very slanted and twisted.
He also did.
But make sure you guys, if you know of a good church, if they have a food pantry, offer to give them eggs. You know, that would light up somebody's life to have good eggs.
Man, I was given
if
eggs.
you know anybody in your towns that live near you, if there's a little old man that we know that lives in town, I'm out of eggs now because I gave them all I had. And they're molting, and so they're just laying a few, and I'm using them right up still.
I feel really bad for Frank. I mean, we'll get by without the eggs, but sometimes I wonder if that's all Frank eats.
I'm just saying, think of somebody beside yourself. Those food stamps. I mean, when I saw that in the news, I was like, really? Maybe the Supreme Court didn't say it. Maybe they're going to get food stamps. I don't know, but it sounded like they basically said, okay, it's okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and pause them.
I saw a thing where they have okayed like 17 out of 18 things he's asked for.
I love your heart too, Peach. Yeah! And just ask him. And unique. Meredithism. Shay's heart. I love all y'all's hearts. I'm just looking back to see if I missed anybody. I love Miss T's heart too. And I know she's busy. I don't blame her one bit. She goes live so much. She thinks of interesting content.
Hey, just going to mention, here's a female gnome.
Yeah, we got a female gnome. This is the guy one. Well, I love you guys. I went an hour. I gotta go check my food. I am hungry.
And
if you want to know, I'm going to have my roasted chicken and my roasted potatoes on a bed of arugula with dressing I make, Peach.
She's probably going to make me start tearing down that ceiling tonight.
I am Amanda Gordon Ramsay, and that's what I'm having on a bed of arugula. Love you guys. Peace. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Except for you and we offended some Native Americans, you dumbass.
Oh my God. I was off the chain.
Haley.
You should have pointed. In the parentheses, guys, I'd see. You got to point with an arrow to who it belongs to.
I wrote it by the word.
It was also by the other word, which is right above it.
I had to come back and do the pronunciation because I didn't want to offend anybody.
That's all right. I'll do it. It's funny.
Haley.
Oh, you're still alive?